What's cracking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another aha reaction, and we're back with another version of Minor Earth Major Sky, and we're going to listen to the Millenia Nova remix. So this comes from the deluxe edition, the remix CD. There's one other remix in the folder I'm working from, but given that we just heard the full version of the Live at Fall Hall performance of this title track, I thought it would be good to listen to the remix. And yes, ultimately, Millenia Nova, it's a new millennium, which of course at the time it was, which, you know, as we experienced it in our lives, and I was born in 1980, so for me it was right as I was truly entering adulthood, right as I was 19 turning 20, but it feels like it's going to become more significant over time. And I already, make the point, I graduated high school in the last millennium, which, it's been sort of a punchline for me, but as more and more decades pass, I feel like it will be seen as more and more significant, in the same way that, there were people in the 1960s still who had been born in the 19th century, and I imagine for people who were just being born in those decades, it's like, holy smokes, you were around in the previous century, and so to take it then to an even higher scale of time and say that, you were born and you were part of an earlier millennium will become more of this historical anomaly and a curiosity for younger generations. So, yes, in any case, that's all side point material to the essence of the remix title, though I wonder on some level if it may relate to musical stylings as they were evolving in the early 2000s. I can only speak to some genres that I'm very fond of for a long time, like techno and trance and punk rock, where they were still what they had been, but there were definitely some stylistic changes happening. Now, as to whether this could be actually the title of a remix based on someone who did some of the remixing, I'm not sure, but as I said, the title of the remix stood out to me right away, in part because of the historical and temporal context in which it emerged. In any case, I wonder what the stylistic differences will be. I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Minor Earth Major Sky by Aha, and it's the Millenia Nova remix. Notably different intro.
Minor
more sonically different than I expected, though not in the way I expected, meaning I thought it might have a bit more of a dance feel, maybe a bit more of an electronic sound, but it went the other direction for the most part, although the lower end, those pulsing bass lines, it felt like they were enhanced or somehow rendered a bit more electronically or industrially, but overall it had more of like this folk pop feel to it, and the acoustic guitar being the most notable element in that. And not just acoustic guitar playing, but where you can hear the fingers sliding on the chords, like you can feel the like natural playing sound of it, not, editing that out or maybe even leaning into that a little bit. So yeah, it felt more, what's the right word, folksy again, and in that sense more of like a throwback sound, less of a 21st century like new production techniques. So yeah, I wonder if there was a bit of irony to the title. Maybe again the title relates to a remix artist or group, but yes, it feels like it was in the opposite direction, even if it was more change than I expected it to be. And there were a couple moments where it felt like maybe Morton's vocals were echoed a bit more or sort of pulled into the background a bit. But yeah, cool. And that was definitely an enjoyable experience, given that I've gone through, like Soft Cell, I've listened to some remixes, and I've, generally speaking, Depeche Mode, another example, but generally speaking, I've gone through extended mixes and like regular versions of tracks and all these deep dives that I'm doing, less so remixes. So it's always interesting to hear a completely reconfigured take on a track that you already know well from an album. So enjoyed that. In the moment, I'm of course forgetting, because my brain can be leaky, but the other remix in the folder, that's right, it's for Summer Moved On, and that one's actually just referred to as remix, so we'll go through that soon. Do let me know what you think of this performance, or rather this remix, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.